Dan Hurley is in the middle of discussions with the Los Angeles Lakers. We did a reaction video yesterday, but now that we've had 24 hours to sleep on this cart, my brain has started doing some gymnastics, as it often does. And I can't really help myself too much, but to think about there's some pretty great players on this UConn team. I wonder what they would do if Dan Hurley actually abandoned them for the Los Angeles Lakers job. So, uh, do you mind? Can we do a little mental exercise on this, or do you think it's too early to do this? What do you think?
No, it's time. Dan Hurley's also like in person. Like he's currently in LA right now. And I believe that if he's there and is meeting in person, I feel like that's a let's work these details out. Let's get across the finish line. Get ready to learn crypto arena, buddy.
We'll see. Maybe on that. I don't know. But I think like if I were a UConn player, I would be preparing some alternative options right now, right? Like you can work behind the scenes if you're a UConn starter.
Yeah, but can I do this quick overview? And I don't because I want to go like player by player in this situation and do this, but just where my mindset's coming on this knee jerk reaction, new players I think are out the door. Any transfers, freshmen, any of those guys are out the door. I'm giving credit to UConn and their program. I think that guys that are already in the fold, especially if like Kamani Young gets promoted to head coach, I would make a good bet, probably at plus money for what it's worth, given the landscape of college basketball, that a lot of those guys just stay. Like it's even though Hurley's a big part of UConn and UConn's culture and him being the coach, I'm like maybe call it sipping the store's Kool-Aid for what it is, but I truly like actually buy into like these guys might stick around. Like
No,
they might just buy into the UConn allure.
I'm willing to go there, I think, too. So if we're doing that, can we name some names? Like Samson Johnson would be a prime candidate to stay under Kamani, right?
Yep. As well
Yeah.
as like Diarra, Karaban.
I have to push back on Caravan. Just like he would be so coveted by everyone. I think he would at least have to like explore his options. I also get the sense like Diarra, I don't know. I'll give you Diarra. Diarra solo ball, Samson Johnson, Jalen Stewart, Jaden
I'm
Ross.
making
Like,
I'm making plus money bet that the guys that were there stay.
okay, so for this exercise, let's say Diarra, Ball, Johnson, Stewart, Ross, and I guess Singare all stay.
Yeah.
I'm also like this may not happen, but I think like Ahmad Noel and Isaiah Abraham as freshmen, they might look elsewhere. But like I'm even willing to give them the benefit of the doubt that they stay at UConn.
Yeah. Especially because if it's Kamani, I'm pretty sure he's the guy that's from like the New York area. I'm pretty sure he was like the lead recruiter on a lot of those guys.
Yeah,
So that means something too.
totally. Okay, so that leaves four players that I would consider quote unquote big fish that I think would at least receive phone calls, like leave the phone out, turn the ringer on, right? That's what I think would happen with these four players. Let's go player by player and discuss some options. First off, my favorite player in the portal, Aiden Mahaney. Where would Aiden Mahaney look if Dan Hurley left for you or left UConn?
Ooh. I mean, there's a lot of options that would definitely be after him. Now, are we assuming that Aiden Mahaney is maybe not the best student out there?
I don't want to slander a kid's name. I will
Okay.
say, I think even if I mean, he did enter the portal. I don't think every option on earth is open to Aiden Mahaney based on that side of things.
If Aiden Mahaney was to enter the portal, I think there would be a lot of bags involved with him, just because given the timing of it as well. So I got to throw a school like BYU in there. Like I think BYU would be a player for him. There's familiarity with the conference, things like that. I don't know if he wants to do that or not. Well, formerly familiarity with the conference. BYU's in the Big 12 now. Um, and then you got to think schools like Louisville would also be in the fold as well. Um, I don't know if any other ones necessarily come to mind, but I think there would be a fairly amount of good bags going around there. I know you're not going to say Kentucky, are you?
No, I have one though.
Arkansas?
I have one where he almost committed the first time.
Where?
Creighton.
Mm.
He visited Creighton. I heard the visit went great. He visited UConn a couple days later. He ended up at UConn, as any smart young basketball player would, I think. I think McDermott would still take him. You look through the numbers, like they have, I believe, 13 players right now, but I think some of these are like either freshmen or guys who could potentially walk on. Um, he would fit. To me, that Creighton team still feels one guy short, like Pop Isaacs and Stephen Ashworth and Kalkbrenner and Mason Miller. Like Jemiah Neal is the fifth projected starter right now. You could easily just bump him. Bye-bye. Aiden Mahaney's on the wing next to Pop. I think it would be lovely. I think he'd look great in baby blue card.
I would look good in baby blue. I mean, you do that because like he's that good. At least some believe he's that good. Um, the fit would be weird with the guys they brought in because I feel like Isaacs and those other guys might have been backup plans because they didn't get Mahaney, but you make it work.
I think you would just pitch like Pop Isaacs plays Trey Alexander and Aiden Mahaney plays Baylor Shireman. Boom, done. Run the same exact team build back. That worked really well last year. Both those guys were extremely productive. I think it would work.
Yeah, it'd be the pint size version of it because
It
those
would be
guys,
gross.
both those guys are half the size of Alexander and Shireman.
Yeah, that would be a little gross. Okay, moving down the list, the big one that you said you think you could see staying at UConn. I couldn't. I mean, I guess I could. He's the legacy guy, but Alex Karaban would get phone calls from everybody in the country. What's a non-UConn landing spot for Alex Karaban that you think could make sense?
I mean, you could just Photoshop his face on the Coleman Hawkins list. This would suck for Coleman Hawkins, I'll tell you that, because they be making all these calls to Caravan before they made to him. I think.
Purdue was salivating over could we maybe get Caravan? The answer is no, you can't get Caravan. But like as the Cannon Catchings replacement, good
that
lord.
would be that'd be perfect. Literally
Yeah.
would be perfect. It's basically like combining more skill, but also getting that same winning experience and like playing time experience that they had like with Gillis. It would be like the absolutely perfect four. I mean, we did an exercise last year with like who's the perfect four man for Purdue's team. And I brought up Caravan, you brought up Caravan as well. Like that would work out. Um, I don't know. Kentucky doesn't have scholarships available, do they?
I think Kentucky could make one more player work somehow. I
I
think.
think Caravan would be perfect on Kentucky. I think Caravan could you could possibly I think that Arkansas's front court could use a little bit more shooting. They got a lot of power right now, like power rebounding, shot blocking with guys like Avicic and Adu in the fold and Trevon Brazil. I think that Brazil being in the fold hurts that a little bit, but I think Caravan would get a call there as well. If he wanted to, he could leverage it so he gets a massive bag.
I want to rattle off some schools that recruited Alex Karaban out of high school. Is that okay?
Please.
Michigan.
Admissions.
He's a grad. Isn't he? No, no, he's not. He's a junior. Yeah, it might be that.
He's a red shirt though. He might have graduated.
Yeah, I don't know. One spot open. Texas, Virginia, Virginia Tech, Indiana, Shooter, Xavier, Marquette, Villanova.
Nah, no. Marquette.
They haven't brought in a transfer in 2 years, though. Marquette's not
Oh
playing that game.
man, but like I Cam Jones Caravan.
I don't even think they've tried is the thing. My answer is how about the school that has a bazillion spots open and a ton of money still? Villanova.
I no.
Going from Dan Hurley to Kyle Neptune would be sad, but like he'd be featured.
He would be, and you would have so it'd be. I mean, your big three would be Wooga, Caravan, Dixon.
And you a team that can shoot, you'd stay in like a blue blood-ish program. Like we'd see how much of a winner Caravan really is, because can he negate Neptune's losing? Could
I
I
would
actually think that might be where he would end up if this happened, which is why Dan Hurley should not leave. This would make me so sad for Alex Karaban.
I would hate that.
Moving on here. Liam McNeely. Somebody in our Discord, I think it was Dr. Doctor in the Discord, said he has a theory that Liam McNeely is cursed. I'm kind of convinced that's true at this point. Everywhere this kid goes, every like horrible things happen. And then he leaves and everything gets good right away. So I don't know. What would Liam McNeely do? He would not stay at UConn.
I mean, I could see Texas for McNeely, Texas kid, maybe heading back home. I could really see Michigan. I mean, Michigan kind of like they missed out on McNeely the first time, but like now, like what other options does he have? And like Michigan was one of the original teams on his list. I don't know the other ones, but like Michigan's always been around. You said Dusty loves them. They have money. They're not going to get Watkins. So like,
They might get Watkins. That's not done yet.
oh, oh, it's not done yet. Okay, so
Conflicting
like,
reports.
okay, so who knows? Like, McNeely, maybe this is the time finally.
Yeah, if this happened, the timing could work out where I think Liam McNeely becomes the Jameer Watkins backup plan for Michigan. I know what they're offering Jameer, and I think you could immediately offer that to Liam, and I think he would probably take it. I don't know, like if Liam had the opportunity to go back to Kansas, I think he would do that at this point. Don't you think?
It can't. No, not. There's. I don't. Where's the minutes for him?
Does he care though?
I think he does. I think he does somewhat. Like maybe not a lot, but like where are his minutes on Kansas?
I don't know. Part of me thinks he would end up at Kansas. He wanted to go there, and Bill Self like kind of backed out. But
You think like 2 year plan for him at Kansas?
maybe, or just maybe he's really good and plays. I don't know.
And just
I don't
Berkey's it.
know. He's a complicated one to me. No chance Indiana could swoop in, right?
I don't think. Did they pay Bryson Tucker already? I would kick Bryson Tucker to the curb, even though it's messed up.
It would be an all-timer move if Indiana could somehow get McNeely back. That's all I'll say.
He hates who, but someone show him Hoosiers.
Please. Final one. My big man, my old big man, Terrace Reed. Where would Terrace Reed go? I know where he
I,
would go.
I mean, there may or may not be a Conrad's PDF menu in Terrace Reed's DMs.
You
And I'm
don't have
not
a
saying it's from
scholarship.
me.
Your coach actually finally committed 13 players in one offseason. It's crazy.
I hope Zapala didn't put those shoe boxes down yet. Scoop them bitches right back up. Hit the road, Jack.
I know exactly where Terrace Reed would go. Kansas State.
Missouri.
Kansas State.
Oh
It's
no.
Kansas State. It's Kansas
No.
State.
With
Kansas
Ugo,
State.
with Big Oo as a
Yeah, why
coach?
not? Jerome Tane doesn't know what he's doing. It's just to bring in Ugo, bring in Terrace, bring in Achor. All of them play together at the same time, and Doug McDaniel shoots 80 shots a game. There you go.
I could see where did Terrace visit? Did he visit Kansas State?
It was on his list. Yeah,
It was.
it
Oh my
was.
God.
And Kansas State's one of the only schools with Coleman money, right? They're still after Coleman.
How much would that kill you though if Tang did that and it worked? I know
It
you don't
won't
think it's.
work. It
I
won't.
know.
It won't work. I'm telling you, there is no world where it works. This is you being like, how much would it kill you if Jackson Kohler and Trey Holloman left and they were great? Like, you're just like, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Okay. Fun exercise. Do you think? Well, I guess it all depends on Hurley leaving, but like, do you think we actually got any of those right if Hurley does leave?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think McNeely, Mahaney, and Reed would leave. I
I
think
hope.
Karaban would stay.
I mean, I want Hurley to stay because he's so good for college basketball. I really do. If he left, it would be a content machine. It would be a fun month.
It did because everything would just spiral out of control from there. Also, I want to at the end of this video change my stance. I said that he was staying at UConn, that this is how this ends. I don't think so. I think he's leaving.
Hurley?
Yeah.
We're going to go do a video on what he's going to do right now. The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured On the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator, you can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just one click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at NBA2KLab.com/NBA-mini-games.